Hi, welcome to First Pour Wine. I'm Nick,
And I'm Nich.
and on this episode, we're going to be talking about Spanish wines.
Yeah.
So now, Nick, you just came back from Spain a few months ago, correct?
Yeah, that's true. I actually just got married in June.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And one of the places that we went to on our honeymoon was we went to Barcelona. And unfortunately, with all the planning for the wedding and all the honeymoon preparations, we weren't able to look up good Spanish wines to try. So we didn't really get a chance to go wine tasting or anything like that while we were there. But when you approached me and said let's do a topic for First Pour Wine, I immediately thought of Spain, and I said let's talk about Spain.
Okay. So when you were over there, what's your kind of background and experience of wine? Was it easy for you to kind of find wines that you liked, or?
So I don't have that much of a background in wine. I'm much more of a beer person. Brew my own home brews every once in a while, but I am starting to get more into wine. Mainly through your website, thank you.
Great.
And
Thank you.
yeah, so starting to get a little bit more into wine. When I was there, I was able to find mostly the sweeter wines that were easier to enjoy. Some of the darker ones were a little bit, and I wasn't sure which one was good and which one was bad. So I mostly stayed clear of those.
Okay. Well, the two we've got here are from two of Spain's best wine regions. Now, they're not quite sweet. These are going to be pretty dry.
Okay.
But these are both reds. Spain's pretty well known for reds. It's a very large wine producing country. It was third in the world a few years ago, despite being first for planet area. Now, what we've got here is, on this side, we've got a, well, this label doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a Vecordia Joven. And this is a little bit more of a unusual wine. Normally these are Crianzas, like this Castillo Calvijo, which is going to be a Crianza from 2008. Now the difference here is we're really talking about aging a lot of times in oak. Now this one is going to be very young. It won't have spent 2 years in oak. This one will have spent 2 years in oak. Now the difference between these two regions, this one's Ribera del Duero, and this one here is Rioja,
Okay.
is basically that both come from pretty arid, hot landscapes, as I'm sure you had a little bit of experience with
course.
on the flyover, right?
Yeah, so I didn't get to spend much time in the rest of Spain outside of Barcelona. When we were flying over, I saw a lot of mountains, a lot of dry areas, and so I wasn't sure how wine could really even grow in those types of regions.
Yes, they have a lot of struggle in the bottle with these. So, thanks to that, the grapes are a little more concentrated, and so we've got, both of these are kind of forms of Tempranillo. This one is actually Tempranillo with a little bit of Grenache, and this one is going to be a Tinto Fino, which is somewhat known for port, but in this region it's a kind of mutation of Tempranillo. So, how about we give them both a try,
Okay.
and we'll see what we think.
Great.
All right, I'll let you pour the Recordia
Okay.
for you, and I'll pour the Castillo. These are not particularly tasting portions, folks, but we won't let it go to waste. I think I saw some people last night who looked like they were pretty thirsty. All right, so now that I've poured you backwards, but anyways, the outside glass is going to be our Castillo, and the inside glass is going to be our Recordia. So let's age before beauty.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the outside glass, the Castillo first.
Okay.
So you can see right off the bat, if we look at both of these next to each other, that it's a bit lighter, a bit more of oranging going on towards the edges.
Definitely.
So I'll give it a little smell and tell me what you think. Sometimes I should really get the Jeopardy theme in here.
No pressure or anything.
No, none whatsoever.
So definitely, as you can smell some of the oakiness that you were saying. Get a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's more spicy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it is about this wine. We opened up these and sampled them a little bit earlier. This wine to me, both on the nose and on the palate, you get the red fruit, but I get vanilla. I just love that really smooth kind of vanilla thing it's got
Definitely.
going. I'm in love with it. And that's one of the things the oak can help impart to it, is that vanilla. So what do you think?
It's a little bit more, a little drier than the type of wines that I'm typically used to. Get sort of a cranberry taste to it.
A little bit,
I
yeah.
like that.
Cherry.
Yep.
It's pretty elegant. It's pretty smooth
Mhm.
and relaxed.
Yeah.
The finish is nice. It doesn't overpower anything, and the tannins are pretty light. Your tongue doesn't feel like it's being wrapped in a
No.
sandpaper
No, definitely not.
enclosure. Okay, well that's always a good sign.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that I was afraid of getting when I'm trying wines that I don't really know, because I'm afraid of getting that kind of
Yeah.
tannin flavored.
And the oak is another thing that adds tannin. It's not just grape skin.
Mhm.
You can end up with tannin from oak, so it comes out of the barrel as well. So things that spend longer may have a higher tannin, which makes it good for food pairing, specifically steaks, fattier things. Yeah, this wine could be very nice with that. It's got enough body to be good for a leaner meat, maybe a fillet. But It's
Okay.
not. It's not going to stand up to say prime rib very well. You'll want something a little heavier for that. Maybe a Cabernet.
Mhm.
So let's go next door and try the Ribera del Duero. Just complete opposite. You get that.
Much more of a fresher, fruitier.
It's young.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's very young. It's very full of kind of like blackberries.
Yeah.
I think you said earlier. Yeah.
Blackberries.
And I don't know if I noticed this before, but it starts off a touch sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Kind of goes for the more towards the berry flavoring that comes out in the first.
Yeah, and they're a little bit macerated. They're not strictly a fresh kind of berry. There's a little bit of that note as though they've been fermenting slightly. And I mean it's wine, so of course they've been fermenting slightly, but it's more of a fermenting berry flavor as opposed to a fermenting grape flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like if you ever had a berry that maybe is sitting around a little bit longer than it should,
Right.
but it's got that juicy sweetness, but it's got that subtle little underlying note.
Mm-hmm. Now the finish to this isn't as bad as some of the ones I've had before, but it really doesn't compare to this one here. It doesn't have that vanilla note that you were saying earlier.
What, you mean like the third bottle that we had when we were first trying these?
We don't need to talk about that one.
So in this one we've got fruit, and this one we've got oak. In the third bottle that we had that we were tasting, because I picked up the wrong bottle at the store because somebody put Rioja on a wine that was not from Rioja. Yes, it had no... So for you playing at home, right there, that indicates what region it's from. I'm probably putting that way too close and you can't see it, but that little sticker here indicates the region. And that can help you to know whether or not the wine is from where it says it's from. And I forgot to check for that, and so I bought something that didn't have. But anyways, this wine tasted like, sandalwood, black olives.
I believe I said rubber at one point.
Rubber. There's a little bit of some other unpleasant thing. Maybe diesel would have been inappropriate. It was entertaining, and I managed to uncork that by accident too. So that one's will be coming up Saturday now. You can look forward to that wonderful review as you may. So any closing thoughts on these two wines? You want to go back and forth between them maybe? Or?
Yeah, sure, we can go back to the first one. Yeah, definitely still getting that vanilla finish. That's I think one of my favorite parts about this wine.
Alright, so you're out on a date, the waiter comes over, he has both bottles for you, it's all he's got on the list. What do you do?
Well, probably depends on what I'm eating.
Well, absolutely. But let's say you're having, I would say, a nice piece of grilled meat. It's going to complement both these pretty well.
Okay. I'd probably lean towards this one. Being a little bit less experienced with wine, I like the little younger, fruitier flavors. But I can definitely see how this one would be more appealing to somebody who has a little more experience with wine.
Yeah, and so I'm an oak guy, so I'm all about this oak. I love it. I'm all over it. So,
yeah.
But it just goes to show you different wines for different folks and good stuff.
Yeah.
So before we close out, any last thoughts or?
No. Thank you so much for having me, and
thank you for coming.
I look forward to many more wine sessions with you in the future.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to work out something.
We'll make it work.
Fantastic.
Yep.
All right, so thanks for watching, everyone. We look forward to comments. You want to leave them right below the YouTube video, or if you want to visit the site, that'd be fantastic. It's www.firstpourwine.com, or you can follow us on Twitter, which is also First Pour Wine, and the same thing for Facebook. So all those links will be right below. Feel free to check us out. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you think if you've had either one of these. And thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank
Cheers.
you. Adios.